Today's lesson is Plus Talk, a spur-of-the-moment trip. Hi, everybody. My name is Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And it is July now, so it's the time to think about traveling with your friends, your family, or your classmates. And sometimes when we think of going someplace, we just kind of think of it really fast and we decide, hey, let's just do that. We don't need to plan ahead. Let's just go there. And that's what a spur-of-the-moment trip is. It's totally on a whim. You just decide to go someplace. And indeed, sometimes this is quite popular because there do seem to be lots of hotels out there that have vacancies, and there are, of course, lots of places to go and check out. And it seems like you can travel anytime you want to, although it's probably best to plan ahead.
Absolutely. People do love to take these little weekend getaways. This is the kind of thing you do as a spur-of-the-moment trip. We're not talking about a 3-month journey through South America. That's not spur-of-the-moment. Well, it certainly shouldn't be. But if we're talking about loading up your car on a Friday afternoon just after work and then coming back on a Sunday, something you didn't plan, something a little spontaneous and fun. Some people especially like this spur-of-the-moment activity, this kind of thing where you don't plan it, you just go, hey, let's go to somewhere. And that's about all the thinking you do, all the planning you do, and an hour later you're off. So let's see how it works out for our intrepid traveler Yura as she goes down to, I haven't been down to the beach down south in Kaohsiung and Kending in a while, so maybe we'll be having a little trip in our minds along with the traveler in our story.
Sounds like a cool place to go. Head down to Kaohsiung for some fun and games. So first of all, of course, you need to book a hotel room. And that's what Yura is doing in part 1, booking a hotel room. Let's listen to her conversation with the hotel clerk.
A spur-of-the-moment trip. 1. Booking a hotel room. Having convinced her friend to spend the weekend in Kaohsiung with her, Yura calls to book a hotel room.
Hello, this is Ocean Spray Hotel. How may I help you?
Yes, hello. I'd like to book a twin room for Friday and Saturday, please.
That shouldn't be a problem. Hold on just a moment while I check our system. Oh, I'm sorry, but all our twin rooms have already been booked. We can offer you a double instead if you'd like.
I guess a double room could work. And can I ask if breakfast is included?
Yes, we serve a complimentary continental breakfast between 8 and 10 o'clock.
大家好，第一部分我们看到形容词 complimentary， 表示免费赠送的或是赞美的，像是 Some hotels welcome guests with a complimentary fruit basket in their rooms. 有些饭店会在房间里放置免费赠送的水果篮来欢迎客人。或是 The movie received a lot of complimentary reviews. 这部电影收到了许多好评。另外，将 complimentary 字尾的 ary 去掉，就变成了单字 compliment。这个字是名词，意思是赞美或是称赞。例如 Ellen got a lot of compliments on her new skirt at work today. Ellen 今天上班穿来的新裙子获得了许多赞美。或是 The restaurant has received several compliments about its food and online reviews. 这家餐厅的餐点在网络评论中获得了数个称赞。
Okay, so of course, if you want to make a reservation for a hotel room to make sure you have a place to stay when you arrive at your destination, you want to book a hotel room. So in the first part here, Yura is booking a hotel room. You can do it online using various applications on your smartphone, or you can go to their webpage, or you can simply call using your telephone. And having convinced her friend to spend the weekend in Kaohsiung with her, Yura calls to book a hotel room.
Yes, this is being a spur of the moment or spontaneous, but also wise. You're calling ahead. It would be really brave to just drive there and then look for a hotel once you reach Kaohsiung, but at least Yura is doing a little bit of planning and making sure they do have a place to stay before they set off on their spur of the moment trip. So she gets through through, someone picks up the phone and says, "Hello, this is Ocean Spray Hotel. How may I help you?" This is obviously someone who works at the hotel, and yeah, it's a good bet that the person who answers the phone is a clerk at the hotel, someone working at the front desk, that kind of thing. So Yura then says, "Yes, hello, I'd like to book a twin room for Friday and Saturday, please." So it's going to be a 2-night stay, and she's already said what she wants, a twin room. This would probably be a room with 2 beds in it, 2 single beds or maybe 2 twin beds, which is slightly larger. It might be a little tight for 2 people to sleep on a twin bed, but if you have 2 of these beds in a room, both people will sleep in their own separate bed and they'll have a nice, comfortable bed to enjoy. So let's see, do they have a room for them?
That's a good question. Well, here the clerk says that shouldn't be a problem.
Cool.
And so the clerk checks the computer there, and then he says, "Hold on just a moment while I check our system." So he goes into the computer there and sees and checks about availability for the night in question. And then, oh no, there's some bad news here. The clerk says, "Oh, I'm sorry, but all our twin rooms have already been booked." Of course, now it's July. It's kind of peak season now. So, of course, lots of people want to head down to Kaohsiung because Kaohsiung, of course, has lots of wonderful tourist attractions. And Kaohsiung is not too far away from Kending as well. So probably lots of people have the same idea. Let's go down to Kaohsiung there and, check out the harbor, go to Qijing Island there and get something to eat or whatever. So, yeah, indeed, all the twin rooms are full. They're already booked. And then the clerk says we can offer you a double instead of the twin room if you'd like that. A double, of course, is a room with 1 large bed for 2 people. So, yeah, is that okay? If you have 2 people who are just classmates or something, you're not a married couple or something, do you mind sharing a bed? We do have a double room available.
There you go. So, yeah, that would be a little bit different, and depending on how much privacy or how much snoring you do, maybe at night, that might not work out for you. But for
that's
your
a problem for me, snoring.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to sleep next to a heavy snorer or someone who kicks in the middle of the night or something like that. But for Yura and her friend, this doesn't seem too bad. Maybe they know each other quite well, so sharing a small space is something they're used to. Yura says, thinks about it, and then she says, "I guess a double room could work. That's okay. It's not our first choice, but as a second choice, it's not so terrible. So, yeah, we'll take it with the double bed. And can I ask if breakfast is included?" That's a good question because some of these hotels, they do have breakfast service. It might be included in the nightly fee, the nightly charge that they ask from you, or it could be something you have to pay extra for, but it's certainly something you might want to find out about if you were going to be hungry in the morning. So, can I ask if breakfast is included? And the clerk says yes, so that's good news. We serve a complimentary continental breakfast. That's even better news, between 8 and 10 o'clock. So yes, they do have breakfast. It is a continental breakfast. So when you hear that, think kind of a light European style breakfast, maybe some croissants, some coffee, some fruit, maybe some cereal, some jam and butter and stuff with your croissant or your bread, something like that. We're talking about something fairly light and quick. The continental breakfast is very popular, and even more popular, it's complimentary. Basically, that means it's free. You don't have to pay extra for it. Everyone who books a night at the hotel can also enjoy their complimentary or free breakfast between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you get up at the right time.
If you get down there at 10:30, it's too late. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson for today. Let's go on to the second part and talk about transportation. A good way to get around is to rent a car. Let's listen.
2. Renting a car. Yura is on the phone with a car rental company.
That's right. It'll be a Friday pickup. I'll probably arrive at around 8 p.m.
And what will the drop-off date be?
Sunday the 31st.
Excellent. And what kind of car would you like? We have economy, compact, intermediate, and premium options. Prices scale accordingly.
I think an economy car will be fine. I'm after the cheapest option, really.
Understood. The rental rate for our economy cars is $1,500 NT per day. And don't forget to bring a valid driver's license and your passport when you come to pick up the car.
Got it. Thank you so much.
第二部分我们看到单字 compact， 这个字是形容词，指小型的、小巧的或是简洁的。例如 In the past 2 decades, cell phones have gone from bulky handsets to compact electronic devices. 过去20年当中，行动电话从笨重的听筒变成小型的电子装置。或是 While this apartment is rather compact, its limited space is used efficiently. 虽然这间公寓相当小巧，其有限的空间利用却很有效率。另外，这个字也可以当作动词使用，念作 compact， 表示使紧密或是压紧。我们可以说 The farmer's hay was compacted into bales. 农夫的干草被压紧成一捆一捆的。或者 Commercial airplanes have a machine to compact large amounts of garbage. 商用客机中有种可将大量垃圾压紧的机器。再来，我们看到形容词 intermediate， 意思是中型的、中级的或是中间的。例如 Students who complete the intermediate class graduate to the advanced level. 完成中级课程的学生可以结业晋级到进阶等级。或是 Getting to an intermediate level of Japanese takes hard work. 日文要学到中级程度需要努力。另外，这个字也可以当作名词，表示中间人。像是 You can't speak directly to the government official, so you will have to go through an intermediate. 你不能直接和政府机关反映，得透过中间人才行。或者 The seller is the intermediate between suppliers and consumers. 卖方是供应商和消费者的中间人。接着我们看到单字 accordingly， 这个字是副词，指相应的、照着或是因此。举例来说 This concert will take place outdoors, so be sure to plan for the weather accordingly. 这场演唱会将在户外举行，所以请确保计划有依照天气状况。或是 Trudy was advised of the new policy change and acted accordingly. Trudy 被通知有新的政策变动，并照着新政策行动。另外补充一个相关片语 according to ACCORDING 空格 TO according to 指根据或是据点点点所说。像是 According to the weather report, we will have thunderstorms this afternoon. 根据天气报告，我们今天下午会有大雷雨。或是 According to my doctor, I need to drink more water during the day. 根据我医生的说法，我白天时需要喝更多水。
Okay, so in part 2, of course, we're talking about renting a car, which means you simply pay a fee to use a car someplace. And indeed, when you travel around various places in the world, rental car agencies are all over the place. Yura is on the phone with a car rental company. So rental, of course, is the act of renting something. You use something by paying a fee, and then you have to give it back when you're done with it.
That's right, especially for things like cars or scooters if you go down to Kending. And if you want to enjoy some sports, you might go to a surfboard rental shop or a snorkeling equipment, scuba diving equipment rental shop. You can rent by the day, by the hour, that kind of thing. But yes, the car is very useful to rent or to go to the car rental company because that'll give you some freedom when you're on your holiday without having to bring your car from home with you. So Yura says, that's right, it'll be a Friday pickup. I'll probably arrive at around 8 p.m. So we're kind of in the middle of the conversation here. Yura's already explained what she wants, and now they're talking about when she wants this car. She says, that's right, it'll be a Friday pickup. In other words, we will get the car, we will pick up, separating it into two words. We will pick up or get the car on a Friday. So we can turn that phrase to talk about it as a noun. For example, after school pickup time is 4:30 p.m. or something. That's the time you go and collect or get your kids from school. This will be a Friday pickup, so basically we want to start using the car on Friday. I'll probably arrive at around 8 p.m., just to give the car rental company a little bit of information about when you will be there, when they should have the car ready for you. So we know when she's going to get the car, and of course now, when will they give the car back?
Yeah, that's a good question here. So that would be the drop-off date. So the clerk has to ask this question, and what will the drop-off date be? So you've got the pickup time when you go to pick up the car, when you go to get the car. That would be around 8 p.m. on Friday night. And yes, when are you going to return the car to us? What will the drop-off date be? Yura says it will be Sunday the 31st.
So this all sounds good and sensible to the clerk. The clerk says, excellent, okay, that works for us. We can have the car ready for you, bringing it back on Sunday, no problem. Let's move on to other things. And what kind of car would you like? Oh, that's true. You got to pick the type of car. Many rental companies, of course, will have more of a certain type of car, but they will still have a choice, many of them. And here are the choices. We have economy, small, compact, a little bit bigger, intermediate, maybe good for a family of 4, and premium options. That would be like a fancy car, maybe for business executives or something like that, possibly also a little bit bigger, maybe seats 5 people, and prices scale accordingly. So that's all useful information. When we talk about an economy car, we talk about a really small car. It's economy basically because it gets very good gas mileage. That means that maybe you could fill the tank and you could drive it for more than a week or something like that. You get very good mileage with your gas, so it will be easier on your pocket, easier on your wallet. A compact car, well, compact just kind of means small. It might be a 2-door car, it might be a small 4-door car. And then we have intermediate. Well, intermediate means basically the middle in a lot of different areas that we might use this word for a lot of different topics, a lot of different contexts. If you're an intermediate English speaker, that means you're kind of in the middle. You're not a beginner, you're not advanced. So intermediate cars, you can imagine, is just sort of a medium-sized 4-door, 4-person car. And premium, well, whenever you see premium on a menu or on a price list, you're thinking expensive. When we talk about premium class or premium options, we're talking about the most modern, the latest, the most expensive. So that will obviously cost you a bit more. And as the clerk explains, prices scale accordingly. When we talk about prices scaling, we're talking about basically different price levels. When you buy an airplane ticket, if you're in coach or economy class, that will be the cheapest. If you're in first class, that will be the most expensive. And the other ones in between, the prices will scale up or will go up as the quality goes up. So the prices scale accordingly. When things happen accordingly, they kind of match. They happen in a very logical sort of relationship. So the prices scaling accordingly is basically saying small 2-door economy car, cheapest. Most expensive would be the premium cars, the fancy Mercedes-Benz 4-door cars, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So again, with accordingly, I could say, for example, you are a prisoner of war and you will be treated accordingly. You will be treated like a prisoner of war. You won't get any special treatment. So again, if you are going to rent an economy car, the prices will be cheaper. And if you rent a premium car, then the prices will be higher, etc., etc. Well, Yura here says, well, I think an economy car will be fine. Okay, so that's good enough for us. We're young. We don't need anything fancy. And maybe we have a budget. We don't want to spend a lot of money on gasoline. So I think an economy car will be just fine. And then Yura says, I'm after the cheapest option, really. If you're after something, that means that's what you want. And yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of money on a car. We're just down here for a couple of days. We just don't want to spend a lot of money.
Exactly. And the clerk understands. So the clerk says, understood. I get it. I understand. You're looking for the cheaper option. Okay, so we won't talk about the premium options. Let's focus on the ones that are a little bit easier on your wallet. The rental rate for our economy cars is 1,500 NT dollars per day. So remember, economy car, that's the cheapest category. So that's going to be the cheapest or the lowest price. 1,500 NT dollars per day for your own car. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And the clerk mentions, don't forget to bring a valid driver's license and your passport when you come to pick up the car. So the other documents that you need that are important in order to get the car to you would be a valid driver's license and a passport, especially useful, of course, if you're a foreigner. If you're a local person, I'm sure your local ID card would be fine, but they would also, of course, need you to show something that says you can drive legally, and that would be a driver's license, not just though a driver's license, a valid driver's license. Valid basically means, you know, those dates that they put on certain of these cards that we have, whether it's a credit card with a date or an ID card that you have to renew every couple of years. If you haven't renewed it, it is invalid. It is not valid. You can't use it. You've gone over the date, so you have to go back and re-register and sign up again or something like that. So basically, if it's a valid driver's license, you are allowed to use it at this time. It is not gone over date. It is perfectly legal. It is okay to use that one. But if it's invalid, then you have to get a new driver's license before you can rent the car.
Indeed, and Yura says, got it, I understand. Thank you so much. So it looks like the rental car has been arranged and the hotel room has been booked. So Yura and her friend are ready for a great time down in Kaohsiung. That brings us to the end of our discussion for today. It's time to turn things over to Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。在第二部分的对话里，租车公司的职员问 Yura 想要租哪一种车款，他们有经济型、小型车、中型车、高级车的选择。好，文中它用到 intermediate 来形容中型的，那它也可以用来形容是中级的、中间的。我们来学习它的字首字根。好，先来看 med，或者是可以拼作 medi， 或者是 mid 这一类的字根呢，就表示中间或是在点点点之间。像 medieval 中世纪的， middle 中间等等，这些字都可以看出这一类字根的意思。好，那么另外 mid 这个部分也可以接在其他时间名词之前，像 midday 正午，中午12点。Midnight 就是午夜半夜12点，还有 midsummer 表示仲夏等等。好，那我们来看看这个 intermediate 这个字当中啊，它的字首 inter 表示在之间， medi 这个字根的部分表示中间，那么 ate 是形容词字尾，合在一起 intermediate 可以用来形容中级的、中间的或是居中的，位于中间那个居中的意思。好，那么顺便补充几个有这一类字根的单字。第一个我们用来补充是 mediate， mediate。 好，那它的字根 medi 表示中间， ate 是动词字尾，我们就可以利用使居于其中来作为沟通媒介，用这样的方式去联想到 mediate 这个动词它有调解或者是斡旋的意思。第二个补充的是 mediocre， 我们来拼一下 mediocre， 那它的字根 medi 表示中间， ocre 表示崎岖的山岳。那照字面来看，它的意思就好像是在半山腰，在登山途中，我们就可以借由身处在中间的高度不上不下的情况去联想 mediocre 它是指普通的、平庸的，就带有那种 not very good 不够好的那种语义了。好，第三个补充的是 medium， 它的字根 med 表示中间， ium 是拉丁文单数名词字尾，那么这个 um 的复数形啊，大多是用 a 来表示，所以我们常常就会看到 media 这个字是用来表达媒体，那它其实是复数形，而单数则是 medium 当名词就有那种传播媒体啊、媒介的意思。好，那在对话的最后，租车公司的职员提醒 Yura 取车时要携带有效的驾照和护照，这边用到 valid 来形容有效的，我们也来学习它的字根。好 ，VAIL 或者是 VAL 这一类字根就表示强壮的、有力的或是有价值的。在 valid 这个字当中呢 ，VAL 它是表达有力的 ，ID 是形容词字尾，我们就可以借由在法律上是有利的，去联想到 valid 它表示合法的、有效的，也可以形容是有根据的、令人信服的那种意思。 接着我们在前面加上否定字首 in 变成 invalid， 那就可以形容是无效的，也可以形容可能论点啊、观点等等它是站不住脚的。好，那么以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天单字吧。
Rental. Please read the rental agreement carefully before signing it. Pickup. Your meal will be ready for pickup in 15 minutes. Compact. Compact cameras, which fit easily into pockets, are perfect for tourists. Premium. The company is well known for producing premium watches. Valid. Most passports are valid for 10 years from the date of issue.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.